watchOS 27 might not be the flashiest update Apple has ever pushed to the wrist, but there is a lot packed in here that quietly makes this a pretty good update overall. What will make it even more important is when we actually get Siri AI on the watch, but right now it is still currently not in this beta. But let's go ahead and start with that really quickly. We'll touch on what you're getting because getting Siri AI on the watch is kind of a game changer in my opinion. So as we all know, the new Siri AI powered by Apple Intelligence, it's really powerful. I've shown it off quite a bit. The short version here is that you're gonna get this conversational assistant right on your wrist. You can ask open-ended questions. It understands your personal context to pull up things like a door code or a saved note. It can even take actions in your own apps, and it can tap into broad world knowledge for up-to-date answers. Two features worth flagging for Apple Watch users specifically: you'll be able to start a Siri conversation on your iPhone and pick it right back up on the watch or vice versa through a new dedicated Siri app on the watch. And there is call context, which is really cool. It can surface relevant info during a call, like a confirmation code from mail. When you are on the phone with, say, an airline, for example, and you need that code, it'll pop up on your wrist. Now, I've gone much deeper again on how Siri AI works across all of the devices, so you can check out my iPadOS, iOS, and macOS videos, clicking the card here in the upper right corner. But having it on your wrist, again, I think is going to be, well, at least this version of Siri is going to be incredibly useful. All right, so now let's get into the rest of the changes that are actually present in this beta, and we can start with the UI. There's a handful of app icons that got refreshed, maps and music among the ones updated to now match the liquid glass aesthetic. It's nothing dramatic, just a cleaner, more consistent look across the system. Notifications also pick up some handier new controls. When one comes in, you now get that X to dismiss it outright, but there's a new mute icon tucked into the bottom right corner. So if you have a chatty group thread or your cameras are blowing up like crazy and you're getting a lot of notifications on your wrist and you just want it to stop, you can quiet down the notifications by just clicking on that in the bottom right, and you can, either mute it completely, turn them off, or mute it for an hour, which is what I normally do. Now, the bigger navigation change is the new dynamic app grid. If you press the digital crown, instead of the full honeycomb or list of apps that you have, you get a contextually aware grid of 5 apps that you use the most, or at least the ones that you might need at that time, with Siri suggestions front and center. If you want the standard full grid, you just scroll or tap the middle icon to expand it. It is a smarter default for most people since the apps you actually reach for are right there in the moment that you need it when you press it and you don't have to go hunting for it. Now, we all remember the double tap gesture to navigate through apps and Smart Stack. Maybe you use it, maybe you don't, but now there's a new single tap gesture where you would touch your index finger and thumb together like you would, but instead of doing it twice, you do it once to select something. You can set this up under the settings, gestures, and then you can turn them on if it's not already. But if you're in something like the Smart Stack, using it one-handed is pretty nice. If you're busy and you need to be able to pause or skip the song that's currently on, you can do that. You can jump into the weather app if you need to and kind of mosey on down the list there and be able to select things, which is a nice touch. And speaking of Smart Stack, this gets a little smarter this year with new proactive suggestions. It will now surface things like a close contact's birthday, so you can fire off a quick happy birthday text, the location of your parked car, an adjusted alarm before select holidays, so you're not getting up early on an off day. The whole idea is more of the right widget showing up at the right time. Find My also gets a much needed cleanup. No longer do we have 3 separate apps for Find Devices, Find People, and Find Items. Everything's now rolled into one single Find My app, the way it should be. You toggle between all of those things, people, devices, and items, just by clicking the top left menu, and you'll have a view of everything that you might need, all consolidated into one handy icon. The Wallet app picks up custom passes, so if you have a membership, a gym card, concert ticket, anything that uses a QR code or a barcode, you can now add it as a custom pass on your iPhone, which will then sync on over to your watch. And you can even pin it in the Smart Stack. So it is one tap away when you walk up to the gym door. You can easily go ahead and now use your watch to access your gym or your car, whatever the case may be. Moving over to health and fitness, Workout Buddy gets a little bit of an update here. You now get deeper insights into your pace, distance, and workout duration, drawing on your fitness history to keep you motivated, and there's even a new voice. A couple of other changes here. First, it no longer needs your iPhone nearby, so you can head out for a run with just the watch and still get that coaching, and it now supports Spanish. There are a couple of smaller fitness wins here too. One that I'm personally excited about, step counts now sync accurately between the fitness and health apps, which sounds basic, but has annoyed people for quite some time. I use a different watch when I go golfing, and that tracks a lot of my steps. It's a Garmin watch, and it should and does track it inside of the health app, but it doesn't show up on the fitness app and on my wrist when I put my Apple Watch back on. And now the two will talk together and should sync up quite nicely. Indoor runs and walks on a treadmill are also tracked more precisely thanks to improved motion algorithms. And cycle tracking in the health app now adds perimenopause and menopause support with notifications when your log cycle patterns suggest perimenopause, plus symptom tracking and educational resources. On the performance side, just like all of the other operating systems for these devices, things are just going to get a little bit quicker. So workouts might start noticeably faster, music playback from Apple Music kicks off faster than before. A bunch of small stuff, but things that'll make the day-to-day use feel better. Finally, a few features have been removed, like double pressing the digital crown no longer opens up the app switcher. So if you use that quite a bit like I do, it's going to take a minute, but yeah, you're basically just going to jump into that dynamic app grid. And the Walkie-Talkie app has been removed from the OS entirely. If that was something you used, you might be bummed. I have actually never once used nor thought of the Walkie-Talkie app since it came out. I completely forgot that thing existed. I understand why Apple removed it. If you've used it, let me know in those comments down below. So that is watchOS 27. A lot of nice, thoughtful refinements, quality of life upgrades, especially in fitness and all of that. And a big leap when Siri eventually makes its way down to the Apple Watch. I think that's going to be something that we definitely will be, using quite a bit on your wrist, or at least I think I will. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about watchOS 27. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one in the future. This is Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.